Hi, I am Tracy Maligan and this is Josh Marr, and we are reading this letter on behalf of the 9 people who have just been imprisoned for protecting our country and everything that we all hold dear. Today in the High Court, the government has shown its cowardice. 9 ordinary people have been committed to prison for demanding that the government fulfil its election pledges by insulating Britain's homes. The 9, aged between 20 and 58 years old, were convicted of contempt of court for breaking the National Highways M25 injunction and have been sentenced to between 3 and 6 months in prison. Anna and Louis received sentences of 3 months, while Ben Taylor, who has announced to the court his intention to continue, has received a sentence of 6 months. All the other defendants were sentenced to 4 months, and the judge has ordered that all defendants should serve at least half. After the sentencing, Emma Smart, 44, announced her intention to go on hunger strike. This is a letter from those brave 9 people. Over the last 9 weeks, 174 ordinary people have held our government to account, asking that they deliver on the most basic of their duties, and that is to protect the British people, the economy, and all we hold dear for our society. Your government has now chosen to act, and it's chosen to imprison us rather than meet the demand. By imprisoning us, the government shows its cowardice. They would rather lock up pensioners than insulate their homes. They would rather lock up teachers than create thousands of proper jobs. They would rather lock up young people than take practical steps to reduce our emissions. They will lock us up and leave thousands to die in the cold this winter. We knew we would face prison when we took this action, but we cannot stand by while this government betrays the general public. Following the widely recognised failure of our government at COP26, we are continuing to ask them to get on with the job of cutting carbon emissions, of insulating cold and leaky houses, of protecting the people of this country from climate collapse, because the lives of our children and those of all future generations hang in the balance. To the government we say, you can't imprison a flood, there are no unlimited fines against a famine, you can't bankrupt a fire. To the public we say, no one is going to save you. In the past, when governments have failed to protect their people, the right thing to do is to highlight the injustice, breaking the law if needed. This is what the suffragettes and Martin Luther King did, and it is what Insulate Britain has done. We call on you to recognise you also have a duty to act, as our government is betraying us. They can't even act on Insulate Britain. What hope do we have of them protecting our children, our economy, or our country?
We say to those who look at it in theory of denial, this will impact you all. This will impact everything and everyone you love. With less than 100 people, we've captured the attention of the entire country. Imagine what we could do with 1,000. You have a choice to act, to come and join us to help change the tide of history, or to be a bystander and be complicit in enabling genocide. This tide will not come again. Will you join us?
Will you join us?
You say you want to protect vulnerable people, but in October your roadblocks cost the taxpayer £1 million in just a month. Can you explain how that helps?
Can you explain to me why, as a journalist, you are insisting upon not asking the right questions? Why you are insisting upon saying the cost of insulating our homes and reducing our emissions is greater than the cost to our children if we don't?
As a journalist, it's my job to ask the question. So
the
can
right
you answer
question,
it,
please, sweetheart. It's your future.
Can you answer the question, please? Do you think £1 million will cost the taxpayer in a month helps people in Britain?
Do you think the cost of £1 million is anything in comparison to our children having a survivable future? Do you? It's the only thing disrupting enough ordinary people that the journalists have to give us airspace is the only thing that works in this corrupt environment.
So nine of your colleagues have been jailed now. What's that going to do to the protests going forward? Are you going to stop them? Are members of your group going to decide that it's not worth it? What's going to happen?
What are you going to do? Right? We are here to tell you the reality of our situation. The next 3 to 4 years matter. Everything we do, every day, for the next 3 to 4 years matters for all of our children, for all of our futures. So they're asking us, are we going to stop? No! What are you going to do?
So you'll
You've
keep
got power.
seeing.
I'll report on your protests. You want the publicity?
That's up to our government. That's up to our media. Will you all allow us to keep being imprisoned, or will you find the courage needed to protect our children, our economy, and everything we hold dear? That is the question of today for all of us.
Join us.
Tell the truth.
Tell the truth.
Tell the truth.
Children, stop asking distracting questions.
The Secretary of State for Transport was revealed as having lobbying on behalf of the aviation industry. How do you feel about his hypocrisy in doing that and then trying to attack you for trying to save the planet?
Thank you. Yeah, I was horrified. The Grant Shapps, the Minister for the Department of Transport, has set up his own lobbying company because he's a silly little boy who wants to keep playing with his toys, his planes on his airstrips, rather than protect my children's future. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of the corruption, and I'm sick of journalists not asking the right questions, and I'm sick of us not finding the courage to save our children. The reality of our situation, 3 to 4 years that count. Every day in the next 3 to 4 years count. Where's your courage? Woo!